Hey, what's up guys? Big Nady back with another video. So the All-Star starters are revealed, the voting is done. Um, so for the East, there's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's the captain, Kawhi Leonard, Kemba Walker, Joel Embiid, and Kyrie Irving. Now for the East, I'm very happy that Kemba is an All-Star starter. I mean, he's been balling the entire year, doing what he can with the limited Hornets roster, and putting up some crazy scoring numbers and really just putting the team on his back. He's really the only consistent guy over there. He can create offense. Um, so it's good to see him as a starter. Kyrie's had a good year, even though the Celtics have not played up to expectations, but they're still, finding a way, and they're fine. Joel Embiid, he's been a monster. That's without question. You know what Giannis has done this year. Um, the Bucks are number one in the East, and then Kawhi with the Raptors being number two. He takes a lot of different games off of rest coming off that injury, but still lockdown defender and clearly the best player on that team. So no problems there with the East starters. Now for the West, you have LeBron as the captain, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Paul George, and Stephen Curry. Uh, LeBron has been injured for a lot, but it's still LeBron, so he deserves to be a starter. Obviously, Kevin Durant can't argue against that. James Harden has been putting up some amazing numbers. I think he's averaging 35 right now. Just had 61 against the Knicks. He's on a crazy tear right now. So if he wasn't a starter, I know a lot of people would have been irate. Um, that would have been pretty bad. But Paul George, hey, two-way wing who's been putting up numbers for the Thunder, and they're having a great year. So no problems there. Stephen Curry, obviously, he does what he does. So there's your All-Star starters. Now the interesting thing is in the fan voting, Dwayne Wade was number two in the East, and I think that's just you know he's retiring after this season, so the fans really want to vote for him, and I don't have a problem with that. It's the last season, people be able to see him, so I hope he's a reserve. Um, I think Blake Griffin for the Pistons deserves to be a reserve. I mean, he had a really great year despite the Pistons. They can't inability to shoot the ball, so he has to do a lot with poor spacing. So I think he deserves a nod. Now a lot of people are upset at Luka Doncic because he was third in front court voting with over 3 million votes. Um, Nobody else had 3 million other than LeBron, and in the West, and he's not a starter. And I think that's the right move. He is a rookie. He's had a great year, but I mean, who are you putting him ahead of in the West? I mean, are you putting him ahead of Kevin Durant? No. James Harden? No. Steph? No. LeBron? No. The only argument you could have is Paul George, but I think Paul George has just had a better year, because obviously he plays both ends of the floor. I don't think Luka's a bad defender, but I mean Paul George is definitely a better defender. Um, so I mean that's I think that was a good move. You see Derrick Rose second for the guards, um, which I love. Being how many major, how I mean, what athlete do you know that's been through as many major injuries as Derrick Rose? People wrote him off. I even had my doubts because he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers last year and had that period where he had to go step away from basketball because he didn't know if he wanted to play anymore. And for him to bounce back the way he has and is having the year he's having, that's phenomenal. Hit the game winner the other night. So I love that comeback story. He deserves to be in the All-Star game in my opinion. I think Russ deserves to be in the All-Star game. Klay Thompson has a down shooting year, so I wouldn't mind him missing this All-Star game. I mean, they already have two Warriors there. I don't want to see Draymond or DeMarcus in there at all. DeMarcus just got back. Draymond's had a terrible year. Uh, I don't know why people are voting for Lonzo. No, that's just a no. Damian Lillard deserves to be in there. Uh, Jokic definitely deserves to be in there. Kyle Kuzma is a no for me off the reserves. Um, you had a big argument for Anthony Davis being a starter, uh, which I mean I wouldn't have minded if he took KD, Paul George, or Paul George spot. Um, but you know he should be a lock for the reserves. Steven Adams, I think he deserves to be a reserve this year. Everything he does for the Thunder and their success, he's the paint protector and really protects that middle rolls and finishes and has an improved post game. Just a solid center and is pivotal to their success. So I wouldn't mind him staying in there. Usually all stars are all like the top scorers and the flashy guys, but I think he deserves it this year. He's just very pivotal to their success and to their wins and to their defense. Um, I mean, I think Vince Carter got a lot of votes. That's a no. Gordon Hayward or Al Horford, and both of them are a no for me as reserves. Jimmy Butler, maybe. He's had all these antics, so I don't know. Um, Tatum, that's also a no for me. For the guards, Ben Simmons definitely deserves it. He's been balling. Bradley Beal been balling since the wall. He's out for the season, so um, interesting to see how the teams will be picked. And interesting to see who gets picked last. I don't know who gets picked last, but I think it's going to be exciting. I like the new All-Star system. I think the game last year was one of the more exciting games in recent memory. So hey, Big Netty, I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Peace.